alive.
Wow.
Wow.
Live, but not alive.
I mean, I'm pretty upright and breathing on my own.
I'm not, but it's fine.
Okay. She
It's
said,
okay.
I am not.
No.
She said, I am neither upright nor breathing on my own. I can't with you.
Neither can I. It's okay though. It's
It
okay
is
because
okay.
we are here to talk about my favorite thing in the entire universe. I don't know if
Yes.
you can tell.
We can tell. We can.
I'm finally the heat wave is over, so I can finally wear it.
I love that. I
I don't
love that for you.
I don't love that the heat wave is over though. Like I I was enjoying my life.
Oh my god.
And
So,
now I just don't understand why it has to be like, why is there nothing, like, there's no in between? It's either like scorching heat and
mhm,
35 degrees, or
mhm.
it's raining and windy and it sucks. Excuse me, what is happening?
uh, climate change.
Yes.
It's like I have some unfortunate news for you. Climate change.
Boo.
Um, I'm so excited to talk about this because, as Carola mentioned in her tweet, that I first read as a threat. It's
What?
like it's like I have so much more to talk about. It's like, oh god, I'm going to be here all day again.
Yes. I mean, luckily for everyone,
Yes,
I don't have the time to stay here forever, you know? So
correct.
at some point, also you could technically just like cut me off. You could just go like offline.
Just unplug the feed. It's like, and we're done. Click.
Yeah,
No, I would never do that to you.
you say that.
I mean, unless I'm trying to imagine whatever horrible scenario is going on that I'd have to like dramatically end the stream. But there's so much to talk about. I especially also really liked the comment that we received in Discord about looking at SasuNaru through like a not huge Naruto fan lens.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I kind of want to talk about that because I think one thing about SasuNaru that I feel like is becoming less and less necessary, and you're starting to see that with your SasuNaru knockoffs,
Mm,
is you no longer need to be super invested in the show
mm,
to still ship the pairing. But us coming from the old ways, shipping was a manifestation of being super into the show already, right?
yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
If I can, like, I'm trying to gather my thoughts in a coherent manner because you know how I get. It's just like if you could see the inside of my head.
It's a hamster spinning violently in a
It's
wheel.
so messy. It's full of SasuNaru, and it's like, how do I condense this into a sentence that makes sense
Right.
to other human beings? Because I, it's but it's like what I said in the main episode, right? Because I too, once
Mm-hmm.
upon a time, when I was a child, because we have to
Mm-hmm.
remember, Naruto is kind of old now. It's like
It is.
it's been 20 years, over 20 years since it
Yeah.
first aired. And obviously, first of all, we were young. We
We
were we
were.
were we were in our early mid-teens.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't been exposed to as many series as we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, you know, like we talked about, there are ships, the
Mm-hmm.
typical querying the shonen, like, oh, they have a rivalry, or they have that bond,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, that you can kind of see it. So at first, I too just latched onto it because it was, it was there, it was available, it had the
Mm-hmm.
typical qualities that make you want to ship a couple of characters. And then it just turns into so much more. And like
Yes.
you were saying, like, because again, I wasn't really, we lived on separate kind of like separate parts of the internet in
Yes, we
different
did.
ways. And I think I've said this so many times. You were more, you were always more on the social side of fandom than I was. So I wasn't really, I wasn't writing the manifestos or anything really, but I knew they existed.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like you go into it with that mindset
Yeah.
where you are like willing to hi. You're
You're
just
so welcome. Your comment was so interesting.
yes, it made me so happy. It was so interesting to see that there's someone out there who can give us that
Yeah.
perspective because we don't have
Yeah.
that.
No, exactly. Because it's like, I couldn't even wrap my head around. That's why we're talking about it, because it's such a good fucking comment. That it's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, like, I have to understand that there are people who did not sell their soul to the Fae as children for this show.
Yeah.
And they can still get the ship because all of, the building blocks are there.
Mm.
But yeah, because like, I just, I love the continued image that like we're on the same boat, but like I'm the captain or like a part of like the first mate crew, and you're like somewhere deep in the bowels of this ship by yourself, just reading your fic.
I'm like the stowaway, just like hanging out,
Yeah, you're
doing my own thing.
you crawl out from one of the lifeboats every once in a while,
It's like
scurry away with a snack and some dojin.
it's like part of the ship, part of the crew, but also not really because
Yeah,
I don't know, I was doing my own thing, but yeah, it's kind of like I kind of lost my train of thought, but that is such an amazing imagery. No, but it was kind of like exactly like you had you would have the manifestos and you would have like
yeah,
you would kind of like defend, you would always defend your ship with your life and with
right.
all of your pride or whatever, but then SasuNaru comes along, and the longer this series ran, like this wasn't a case of the fans weren't steering this ship.
Yeah,
This ship,
yeah. The ship was autonomous.
like the ship was the one that had the chokehold on us. Like we didn't have any control. It was just it's
Mhm.
again like now I've been binge reading. I don't know. Like I said in Discord, I don't know why I thought I would be able to get through 20 volumes of Naruto in one day, especially because what I am doing, because thanks to my friend who I walk with every week, and
Mhm.
thanks to the brilliant idea we had to do this special, I now finally have the excuse to do the deep dive that I've
Mhm.
been toying with.
Mhm.
So since I have to prepare for this anyway, I've been like reading and I'm like taking notes. And as we speak, I have a document. I think it's 20 pages by now. And I'm like trying to document, and this is just Shippuden. Like this is just Shippuden. And I'm like documenting every single like interaction, every time they refer to each other, every time they think about each other. Like this is insane. And I know this because
Yes.
I was there and I followed it from week to week.
Mhm.
But I like it takes so long to read one volume because every
Yes.
page I need to stop and like okay, and then I have to quote this and then I have to like make a comment on it. There is so much, Amanda.
Thank you so much for joining me in Manifesto Hell. It took you 20 years, but I appreciate.
I mean, in a way, I was always there. It was just the difference was that while the rest of you guys were putting it on the internet and like bonding over your online manifestos, I was just screaming into the air of whoever just happened to be near me physically at that time. So I've always like always done it. I just didn't really.
Oh my god. I mean, I did the same thing. It's like, and this concludes my 3-hour presentation as to why I believe
Yeah,
the healthiest pairing in Death Note is indeed Matt and Mello.
like I see you've seen that people like do this now. I feel like it's almost become like a party game now where people have like they have to make a presentation. I keep seeing people
Yes.
do this, but they have to
Yes.
like make a presentation about something they don't know anything about. Like someone else makes the presentation and then they have to like
Mhm.
argue the case. This is me, except it is literally me pulling out a PowerPoint presentation and forcing my friends to listen while I show examples.
It's literally us as panelists, though.
Yeah, it's literally like before. I mean, again, we didn't have conventions and no one
No.
invited me to talk about these things. So, unfortunately, for my friends and family,
Mhm.
Do you know how many times my mom told me over the years, like, I would be crying about Naruto or whatever, and she would be like, "You have told me that that manga is about to end for literal years," and I'm like, "It is ending. It's just taking a while. Let me grieve in peace."
I also love that you could like talk to your family about this because
I mean,
I could not do that.
I don't really think I like they don't really understand half of what I'm saying. But they also don't have a choice but to listen to me. I will not shut up.
That's why I was on the social internet. Is that if I tried to explain this to my aunts, I'd be sent back to church.
I mean, we
I'd
didn't.
have to go do more church.
Yeah, we didn't do church, so I was saved by that, I guess. But
I
but
can't.
also, I mean, I think it's also fair to throw in the mix here that again, we didn't really have internet at home until
Yes,
2007.
yes, I do. I do
So
know that. I don't know why I said that. Like I live in your walls. I know that because you've said it multiple times.
yes, no, of course you live in my walls. Why wouldn't you?
I'd be so much happier if I lived within Norwegian walls.
They're nice and insulated.
And there's freedom there.
Yes, correct.
There are rights for people there. uh,
Correct.
but it's been so fun thinking about SasuNaru and talking about SasuNaru. I also really love the Patreon episode that we did
Mm.
where we talked about okay, this pairing really set the groundwork. And maybe there are some instances where other shows have tried to capitalize on a similar groundwork and it has been not as successful.
Mm.
I also put together last night, I woke up like a Victorian man coming out of his laudanum crash. I
Oh my
woke up as like, oh, Corolla likes Miritama because it's Sasunaru.
I mean, I would be lying if I said that there aren't similarities. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna I am not claiming this because this was actually a child I know who coined this term. But
Uh-huh.
a child I now know who is now taller than me because puberty happened,
Yes.
was called Tamaki Anxiety Sasuke,
Yeah.
and I have been calling him that ever since. But
Yeah.
he, yes and no, but like it's kind of like it's similar because again, dark hair, blonde hair, duck butt, spiky hair, the literal sun, doom and gloom, you know. But it's not as intense and insane. Also, I just need you to know that since we did Patreon,
Yeah.
uh, girlfriend and I have actually finished watching season 7 of Bokuaka. And when I tell you, I screamed like a banshee when my beloved son and Sun Eater returned.
Yes.
And like I do realize that other important things happened in that season. I I,
I
I
was about
do.
to say, I think you're glossing over some very important things that happened during that season.
I absolutely no, lots of important things happened,
Okay.
and there was lots of trauma and lots of
Okay.
crying, but
Yeah.
also
Okay. Okay. Just making sure we were still on the same page. I didn't want this to be another scenario where it's like, oh, Wolfwood died? Yes.
no, I do know what was going on,
Okay. Awesome.
but I
Awesome.
was
Awesome.
just
Awesome.
very, for me,
Focus.
obviously the biggest point. Oh my
Literally, world-ending consequences are happening in season 7. And it's like,
I'm over here.
my
You don't
son.
listen. Tamaki got to do something cool, and he was confident about it.
You got it out.
Also,
There's world-ending consequences that are happening in season 7. Everything is on the precipice of failure, but my boy got an action shot, and I love it.
I'm not. What are you talking about? Being single minded? I can't relate.
Uh,
What is the plot in the room with us?
it was the plot is the friends you made along the way.
Actually, Naruto.
But it's really really interesting thinking about it because I want to talk about that instance
Incense?
yes like instance
Okay, okay.
where I have an English degree. um, where
Oh my god.
SasuNaru is one of the most fascinating pairings to look at because most of the time, even people without the Fujo goggles don't need a lot to see it.
No.
That I think that was always the most interesting part was that it was like, me growing up with my trench coat mafia who were all like soup leave me alone.
I did not say anything.
Yes, you did, and you said it loudly. I felt it. Me surrounded by a bunch of men in trip pants and trench coats when I was in high school.
I mean,
No,
it was a time.
it, the early 2000s was a hell of a drive.
Listen, I knew some guys who had trench coats because Matrix was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was taller than me, and
Yep.
sometimes they would put those coats on me, and I would look like a child.
Yeah, I do remember one of my friends putting his trench coat on me, and I looked like a swaddled infant.
Right?
Just
And
like
they were so heavy.
they were so heavy. But
Like I was so small.
and also it was Texas.
Oh yeah.
So like explaining you're gonna die if you keep that on. Um
You
but
know, can I
yeah,
just make a comment in relation to that? Because I have
you
seen
may.
something lately that is insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, I am always cold, and therefore I get incredibly angry when people don't dress properly
Mm-hmm.
because I project.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will be, in my 5 layers of wool, and then someone is like out there with shorts in the winter, and then they have the audacity to complain about being cold.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there is a trend right now that I have seen among Norwegian teenage boys
Okay.
during the heat wave.
Yes.
They have been walking around with like shorts and ankle socks and literal puffer coats, like
Yes.
down jacket puffer coats.
Mm-hmm.
In I'm like, do you know what it takes for me to get mad at someone for wearing too much clothing? Like, it's horrible. Anyway, go on with your trench coat, not
Old
Fujin.
old woman yells at cloud.
Yes, yes,
um
correct.
but one thing that was so fascinating about Naruto is that like, you're hanging around a bunch of like teenage guys who think that the peak of masculinity is being Neo from the Matrix, which we don't
Mm.
have time to talk about. And it's like, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like you and all your gay stuff. This is peak Fujo hate, of course. Oh, you and you girls shipping everything. You'd ship a broom with another broom, and like, do the brooms have?
Correct.
It's like, yeah, do the brooms have chemistry? We would leave us alone. But like SasuNaru was the one place where it was like, oh yeah, they gay.
Oh yeah.
That was
And
that
like,
was the
remember,
battlefield.
this is like this, and this is before it gets really gay. Okay, because
Yes.
I just need to point out, like, again, I am rereading. It is going incredibly slowly because I am in the trenches of convention preparation,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to stop every page to write notes because Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I am on volume 53.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not yet reached, and spoiler alert if you are not, if you don't go here and you haven't read the end of Naruto. But
Oh no.
this is so far away still from the point where
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke and Naruto have their final battle in which they rip each other's arms off. Like, they both lose an
Yeah.
arm, the corresponding arm. They are laying on a rock next to each other. The blood from their torn off limbs are shaping not only a heart, but they are holding hands
They
in
are.
blood
Yeah,
while
they are.
basically professing each other, their love for each other. We're not there yet. But in the most recent instance of insanely gay things that have happened in Naruto in my reread, Naruto had a monologue
Mm-hmm.
in which he was talking about, basically Sasuke's turned into a terrorist at this point. He has decided that he's which I think is very funny because it's like you find out your brother was actually a double agent and he killed everyone in order to protect the village. And then Sasuke's like, the village did this to my brother. I must destroy the village. And I'm like,
Oh my
sweetie,
god.
no. Anyway, so Sasuke's gone full terrorist, and
Mhm.
literally everyone is out to get him. Like everybody. Like the Akatsuki is trying to kill him. Kabutomaru is trying to kill him. Konoha is trying to kill him. Danzo is trying to kill him. Like everyone wants to kill Sasuke except Naruto. And Naruto is like, how am I gonna solve this problem? Because everyone's like, Naruto, you have to fight Sasuke and you have to kill him. And then Naruto is like, I will figure it out when I talk to him. And then he starts thinking about it. And then he's like, okay, Sasuke, remember when you said to me that when two really skilled ninjas are fighting, they speak with their hands and they know what each other are thinking?
The
While
gayest thing ever.
yeah, and then he's like, well, remember that time you asked me if I knew what you were thinking? Well, can you feel my thoughts? Do you know what I'm thinking? Because what I'm thinking, Sasuke, is that you and I, we will fight each other, and when we do, we have to die. And then Naruto goes on to explain that when they die fighting each other, because he would rather die with Sasuke than kill him to save the world, he explains that when they inevitably murder each other, he
Mhm.
will no longer be the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, and Sasuke will no longer be an Uchiha. They will both be freed from whatever is holding them back, and they will meet each other in the afterlife, free of the burdens of this life. Now, I don't know about you.
I've read Yaoi. That is less.
And it's just so, and he's so fucking determined, and he says this so matter of factly. Sasuke's standing there at that point, and he's kind of like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I am not going to die, and I'm not going to see you there. But he's also not entirely unmoved because, unlike all the other times when when he's like just poofed out of whatever, the conversations and just left,
Mhm.
he literally tells Obi Tobi Madara, whoever the hell the masked dude is being at the moment, he tells him, wait, because he wants to hear Naruto out. And when Naruto is done, Sasuke says, talk to you later. And then Naruto's like, until we meet again, Sasuke. And then later he goes into another monologue about this where he's basically talking about how he understands Sasuke's hatred and how he is the only one who can understand and he is the
Mhm.
only one who can shoulder it. And it has to be him. And I will bear the burden of your hatred.
It's so gay. Like
It
I don't have
is
I don't have any like academic wage description. It's so fucking
no,
gay.
but it's like it is just like, okay, you see, when I say, and again, this came so much later. Like this was
Yeah.
in I don't know, but like the last note I saw Kishi make, which was like maybe 10-ish volumes ago,
Mhm.
was that it was 2009. So this is like 2010, 2011. So
Mhm.
this is years after we were watching this with heterosexual male friends who also saw the gay.
Yeah, and it was crazy that like that was the place, we could have our, shipping manifesto presentation night with our guy friends. And like
Which I did, by the way.
have good meaningful points.
Mhm.
And like, oh, here's this page and here's that. I'm trying to think of like a pairing that we would have done that with at that time. Probably like Ellen Light.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ellen Light.
Probably Ellen Light. We weren't blessed to know who Matt and Mello were yet, but if we had met them sooner, I swear to God. Um,
No
but
words needed.
none. But like being able to say, oh, well, here's why I think this pairing is the actual, OTP of the series, and then provide all this evidence, and then just like people watching Naruto and being like, yeah, that's gay. That's gay. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It just is. And I think that that's so That's such a fascinating legacy.
Mm.
I think for a show that um, I can say now as an adult has varying levels of quality.
I mean, I was there for one thing and one thing only, so I think it's a show of great quality.
I mean, I'm talking objectively. Like, there were times that I feel like Kishi dug directly into my brain and created characters, which I
Mm,
always appreciate. It's like, oh, this was a character designed for me to like them.
mm.
And I appreciate that because I've never had bad tastes in fictional men.
Never.
It's always been on the up and up.
And there's there aren't any terrible men in Naruto, not at all. Like there are some gems in there.
There's so many terrible men in art.
I don't know what you're talking about because I actually think they're all fantastic.
They're not.
No, not all of them, because
I
some of
was
them
about to say, you draw the line.
I have just been reading through the Dunzo chapters,
Yeah.
and I hate that man. Okay, listen.
Oh
Again,
my god.
spoilers. When you say like that's the thing though. Like I said in the main episode,
Mm-hmm.
it was so different, and like reading from week to week, like chapter to
Yes.
chapter, because this was so drawn out. Like this is the slow
Mm-hmm.
burn of a century, and it is, and not only like the romance or whatever you want to call Sasuke and Naruto's relationship,
Obsession.
but yeah, but like everything else as well. Like, and because it is a shonen, like there are constantly like new battles and new
Mm-hmm.
like enemies and powers and things, and when you read it like from week to week, it takes a lot longer and things become more
Mm-hmm.
impactful, and you have to like think about it in between, and like everyone's getting together on like live journal and theorizing.
Right.
So binging it now, and I will say this, I am skimming a lot of it because I don't have time to close read 72 volumes of Naruto right now. So I'm like binging and I'm like close reading the SasuNaru aspects and like
Yeah.
skimming most of the story that isn't directly related to the two of them. But there are so many things that happen in this story that I have just plain forgotten, because it's like something happens and then something more horrible happens, and then it's like, so one of the things that I had completely blocked out of my memory, which I was rudely reminded of during breakfast this morning, was Danzo's Sharingan arm. That shriveled up hideous arm with eyes on it. I don't understand how I forgot about that, but I wish I'd never remembered because what the fuck was that? It's so gross.
Well, and you bring up a really, really interesting point. This is also where I'm contractually obligated to say, if you have any questions or comments about the episode, please leave them in chat. Otherwise, Corolla will talk like this for hours.
I will. I also have a lot of other things to talk about that aren't directly related to the manga, but are still very SasuNaru coded. Yeah.
Sorry, I looked up at my television and an old white man is trying to preach to me about hell.
Is it still on Blood Mountain?
No, we're no longer on Blood Mountain.
Which, by the way, also sounds like a place Sasuke and Naruto would fight.
It does.
Meet me on Blood Mountain.
Yeah, that's their secret hook. That's their lover's lane.
Oh my god. No, that
Blood Mountain.
Yes. They fight at the Valley of the End and they make up at Blood Mountain.
We can't keep adding fanfics to my load that we're not going to hit because we haven't met our Patreon goals yet.
Listen, I'm still on Target Pride merch Sasuke going to Chick-fil-A. That is my new dream cosplay.
Sitting in enabling rant while cosplay crafting. Damn.
See, I'm being enabled. Thank you.
I was told, let the wife cook.
I don't cook. I'm not that kind of wife.
You're not.
I am.
You're not. I said that like you're my actual wife, and I'm upset that there's not food. And it's all just like encased in gelatin.
Yeah. I think even that, like, that sounds um very complicated, and
It's not.
I don't know if I
Oh,
have the skill set.
I could teach you. But one thing I did want to mention, that I'm sure will lead Corolla down many paths of darkness.
You mean
Uh,
like the six paths? This is your fault.
this is not my fault.
Oh my god, you don't understand. Like, it's like I thought, because I thought, I've been obsessing over SasuNaru since 2004 or something. So
Correct.
I genuinely thought that I have been on like the same level the whole time. But of course, apparently I'm
No.
like mellowed out a little bit because it's kind of gotten a bit more distant. And now I'm just like face planting back in, and the person that I have become is I started crying yesterday because we were watching the Nordic Cosplay Championship, which, by the way, Norway won, and it was the contestant that qualified from Tourcon, and I am so proud. I'm very proud. I'm also very proud of our local Danmei queen, who is local to my city, who did not win any awards, but should have won all the awards because she's so good. Very proud. Anyway, we were watching Nordic Cosplay Championship, and before the
Mhm.
actual competition, they have like this cosplay walk on where it's just like an hour almost of just like catwalking,
Mhm.
and a Suigetsu cosplayer go on stage, and I just start crying. So that's where we're at in Naruto obsession land. I
I
am
can't.
doing
I can't with
so
you.
well.
I can. I genuinely cannot. I I rarely think that mistakes are made. I'm very like Bob Ross, where it's like, oh, it's a happy accident. Like, even if this didn't do the way I expected, there's still good in it. This truly, I feel like, was a mistake that I made in letting Corolla have her way. What I was saying was,
Yes.
especially after kind of going back and looking at Naruto as a series,
Mm.
I think one thing that SasuNaru reminded me of how much I appreciate is, again, the transformative power of fan works. So when you can lift these characters out of the muck and mire of their series,
Of which there is plenty.
it's a swamp. It's a
Oh my
swamp. When you can lift them out of that and put them in different scenarios, how they would act, I think,
god.
is so much more interesting. Like, that kind of character study stuff, I think, is so much more interesting. And I guess it's because I still write fanfic to this day that I think that stuff is the fascinating stuff. But like, thinking about how much the show constrains them, I think, has always been something that's frustrating to me, because it feels like, and this is something I still struggle with when it comes to shonen, is have a conversation. Have one conversation. Talk once.
I mean, and that's the thing though. Sasuke and Naruto do have conversations.
They
And
have lots.
I think this is so funny because now that I have this fresh in mind, because I was literally
Mhm.
reading it like yesterday and earlier today, the
Mhm.
fact that they actually like meet up occasionally, because they keep they keep, I mean, it's not like they keep appearing in the same place. It's literally Sasuke's
Right.
going somewhere and Naruto is like a fucking scent hound and hunts him down. I think it's so funny how he manages to find him
Yeah.
at wherever the hell it was that he was in this particular scene, because like Kiba was tracking him. Like
Mhm.
Kiba's tracking Sasuke with Sakura and everyone, when Sakura gets that idea into her head that she's going to be the one to kill him, which is
Sweet.
how you going to do that? No one else can kill him. Like, I'm
Let
sorry.
let her.
Uh okay, and then but Naruto isn't there because Naruto at this point has been taken away by
Mhm.
Yamato to an inn after he had a literal panic attack. Like,
Yes.
we're talking like face down on the ground, hyperventilating, can't breathe, blacking out and passing out panic attack because he realizes what's going on with Sasuke and that he doesn't know how to deal with him. And Naruto wakes up
Yes.
and decides that he has to find Sasuke immediately. He's not allowed because he is in mortal danger. As we know, Naruto doesn't really care about this. So he
No.
breaks out of the inn and somehow manages to find Sasuke despite not having a single clue where he is. I don't know how he finds him, but somehow he finds him. And this keeps happening. So they keep like running into each other and they
Mhm.
actually talk. And I mean, Naruto talks, and Sasuke pretends like he
Is
doesn't.
unaffected.
Yeah. Oh, he does not care.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh
he is not affected. No.
yeah, I just I think that there's so much to their characters that is so interesting when they are released from their mortal shackles of
Mm.
being shonen protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think that there's so much more potential in characters when you can release them from their curse. Like I'm here for that samsara. I am here to release you from this never-ending cycle and allow you to fade into the background hum of the universe.
Kind of like how Naruto wants to free himself and Sasuke from their roles as Jinchuriki and Uchiha to live happily together in the afterlife. Which, is a very normal thing to say to your bro. I can't. I can't. See, here's a sticker idea. Just like a Konoha headband, and then
Yeah.
it just says there is no heterosexual explanation for this.
There's not a single one. There's not. Because again, like we brought up in the main episode, we brought up multiple times. One thing that you'll always hear is like, oh, well, they're just expressing strong emotions. You have friends, right? You would say that to your friend. No. I don't think I said that to my parents.
I don't think I've said that to, a significant other.
Yeah.
It's very there is no explanation. Again, there are
It's
things
not.
I haven't gotten to it yet because it's in the final battle, but like there are things they say to each other that sound like literal wedding vows. Like I don't know what you want from me. How am I supposed to
How
deal with
else? Yeah, how else were we supposed to see this?
I don't understand. And then you have like all of these other things. Like not only because this is like something that is being observed, it's being observed by the other characters as well,
Mhm.
like Itachi asking Naruto, why are you so obsessed with my brother? Like Kiba, I think, at some point is like yelling at Naruto like Sasuke, that's all you talk about. And like I mentioned in I think the main episode, Yamato looking absolutely done. He can't stand it anymore. He just can't.
In all fairness, he looks done all the time.
I mean, fair, but he can look even more done. And
Yeah,
there is a
I'm not
point.
discrediting your point, but I don't think he's ever looked not done.
That man concerns me actually because he does look very tired, which I guess fair. But it's like even the women, the girls in the series who are supposed to be like the love interests, even like because Sakura, right? I don't even I don't want to talk about her.
No one made you.
No, okay, no, but I had a point. Of course,
Okay.
now everything is jumbled, but there are multiple points where Sakura, like, she's supposed to be the one who has like the feelings for Sasuke, right? And I'm not discrediting whatever feelings she has for Sasuke, but I do want to point this out, and this is going to sound hypocritical, so hear me out, because Naruto is also obsessed with Sasuke, and he has been since he was 12, while Sakura has been obsessed with Sasuke slightly longer, as we established, because, she and Ino have been fighting over him for the majority of their lives, essentially.
Correct.
But her crush is like a very like a childish juvenile crush, and she doesn't know him. And like that's one of the main things is that Sasuke and Naruto understand each other. They have this deep bond that just keeps getting stronger, even though Sasuke is
Mhm.
desperately trying to sever it. But it's it's different, and they also keep meeting each other, they keep running into each other, and
Mhm.
most importantly, they are, whether they like it or not, whether they are aware of it or not, because they aren't at first, bound together by this destiny that they share. So Naruto's feelings, or what do you want to call it, for Sasuke
Mhm.
go deeper than Sakura's. But
Mhm.
that doesn't mean, like, she still wants Sasuke back as well. But in the scene I mentioned previously, before Naruto has the complete panic attack, she is the one who again needs to talk Naruto down. She is beginning to come to terms with the fact that maybe he's too far gone, maybe they can't
Mhm.
bring him back. And ultimately she ends up hesitating, and she remembers that one time that Sasuke said thank you to her before he knocked her out, and she can't hurt him after all. But she then thinks that she wants all of Team 7 to smile together again. And I think that's very telling, because she focuses on Team 7 as a whole, which, yes, Naruto has also done, but in the scene kind of like very close to this, where Sakura tells him that she frees him from the promise that he supposedly made to her, that he would bring Sasuke back for her sake,
Mhm.
he says that it doesn't matter, because he's bringing him home for his sake, for his own sake. This isn't
Right.
about Sakura, and she's supposed to be the love interest here, but she's like, give up on him, he's too far gone, leave him alone. And that is like, never. It's like,
I want to put a pin in that, but I also want to answer this really, really interesting
yeah,
question. If the consensus was that Naruto is gay, was there a stigma about liking the show if you were a straight fan? I don't think so. I think
no.
like when I remember it, it was like the gayness that was associated with wrestling. Like it was just there. Like you can't escape it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make you it doesn't make you any less manly. It didn't make you any gayer yourself. Because like this is the 2000s. Gay was something that we used to describe everything, but it was
Mm.
also a curse. Like if someone even accused you of gayness, that was bad.
Wh-
Um,
which is interesting, because both Sasuke and Naruto are canonically cursed. So there's that. Make of that what you will. Uh,
I wish I could put alcohol in this.
but okay, but I also think that, I mean, yes, interesting point. I just want to make a quick comment first, that I
Please.
think the general consensus in the fandom has been that Naruto canonically is bisexual, because he does show attraction to female characters. It's just that he's not, he is obsessed with Sasuke, but he shows interest. Like, he thinks that, he thinks Haku is beautiful because he thinks Haku is a girl, which
Yeah.
is a terrible example. He has this crush on Sakura, which is generally just played off for a joke. There are instances in which he shows interest towards female characters,
Yes.
but there's also instances where he like when Jiraiya had Naruto proofread his very heterosexual porny novels, and Naruto said they were boring, which I think is interesting, coming from a 16-year-old boy who is cut off from the entire world, and he's being given these books and he's like, I don't find anything in this that is interesting. But at that point, he's already obsessed with Sasuke, right? I think Sasuke is gay,
I
because he and maybe I'm just like, maybe this is just stereotypical, because he is a fashion diva and he changes his outfits so many times, and I love him.
I think I think what's interesting about that is that they have always appeared to me uh I don't think I ever tried to like place them into actual like LGBT
Mm.
roles because I do tend to separate fiction from reality in that
Yeah,
way
fair.
because I think because narratively sometimes it works when it's just oh, we don't have to question this. As much as I hate the like, oh, I'm gay for you thing, that
Mm.
was usually kind of my mindset when I was thinking about them. Was that
Mm.
not necessarily that either of them had like consistent same sex attraction? It was just them. Like, and I think that's probably why
Yeah.
I connected more to the idea of them being like rivals and soulmates more than
Mm.
anything like that.
Yeah,
That it
no,
wasn't.
I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. Because, like, again, yes, I think for me, this came from fandom, right? That there
Yes.
were a lot of discussions, and that if you had to, like, pin it on them, like, Naruto is, he seems like he would be more bisexual. I still
Hmm.
think, because they are soulmates, like, no
Hmm.
matter what you think about the pairing, you can't escape it because they are canonically soulmates. Like, it's written in the, it's like in their blood, in their
Hmm.
DNA, whatever you want to call it. They can't escape the fact that they are destined to orbit each other and be with each other in some
Hmm.
sort of aspect. Like, that's just so. While I think that yes, Naruto can canonically be considered to be bisexual, but it's just that they are so, they don't have eyes for anyone else. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't
And,
really matter because they are just obsessed with each other.
and I think, making it about fandom again, I think like the level of obsession that Naruto had to Sasuke, I think was so, forgive the word, cartoony,
Mm,
that it didn't really matter to straight viewers of the
yeah.
show. That, but it also places, I think the thing that I've always grappled with is how it puts Sasuke in this really, really interesting feminized role. Because as much as we talked about the order being
Yeah,
important,
like, did you see the way my face
I
twitched?
did, but it does. But no, like they set him up, and I've been talking about this with like other characters. Like I'm still thinking about it when it comes to Supernatural, is like putting these characters in these like really feminized damsel in distress
Mm.
roles, where Sasuke is quest object. Sasuke
The
is,
princess is in another castle.
yeah, the princess is in another castle. The castle is run by Orochimaru. The princess is in grave danger.
Except,
Sasuke is perpetually in a fucking barrel. He is perpetually in some kind of confinement.
and usually he put himself there by choice because he's a moron.
He's
I
an
mean, I feel
idiot.
like that's relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I think it's really, really interesting that for us, how we so strictly fought Sasuke's top, Sasuke's top, Sasuke's top. But when you think about it, of course Naruto tops. He is the prince trying to save the princess. And the princess just happens to keep willingly throwing himself into the hands of evil.
mm. I yes, I mean, I get it, and I was thinking something similar earlier today when I was reading. I just, before I go into that, I had a part two because that was supposed to be like my very quick note on bisexuality in Naruto.
Please,
But
Corolla.
no, because I think that this is relevant because, again, I have a friend who I walk with every Monday, and
Mhm.
we talk about Naruto a lot.
Mhm.
And he is one of these. I mean, he's not the sole example, but he's a very good example.
Mhm.
Um, we talk about them a lot, and we have the same experience that, again, he's originally a Naruhina shipper, but
Mhm.
he doesn't see the Naruhina as being canon because Sasuke and Naruto are just so obsessed and tangled up in each other that there's no space for anyone else. So he
Right.
also sees SasuNaru as the canonical pairing.
Mhm.
But we still have read a very different manga because I have been so focused on their relationship and
Mhm.
all of the stupid stuff they do for each other and to each other. But he, in very typical, straight man reading shonen fashion, has been much more focused on, the powers and the chakra and the lore
Mhm.
and like who is the strongest. And I think that that's one of those things because the world of Naruto is so vast, and there's
It
just
is.
so much, like, there's so much backstory, and there are so many possibilities, and
Mhm.
so even if like the main two characters are incredibly gay for each other, there's still so much else to explore and latch onto, that
Mhm.
even if you don't ship it, even if you choose to completely disregard it or whatever, like, the straight male fans that I knew and that I associated with never
Mhm.
really, like, even if they were like, okay, this is incredibly gay, it didn't bother them because
Yeah.
they were
There
focused
was
on so many more other
yeah, there was
things.
other stuff to do. Like,
Yeah, and then they could do that thing that we all did where it was like, okay, who would win?
yeah, who would win in a
Naruto or
fight?
Goku, like.
Yeah, who would win in a fight? Itachi versus a giant panda.
Good question. I'm assuming Sharingan wouldn't work on the giant panda.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no discount. The panda's still a fucking bear.
Are we talking about an actual panda, or are we talking about the one from Gravitation? Because that was the one I was thinking of.
No, we're not talking about an actual panda.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
was,
You
I
know,
was thinking of an actual panda.
there was this scene that I recently read where Killer Bee was wrestling what I thought was a panda, but apparently it wasn't. It was some other animal that really looked like a panda. I am very confused.
Oh my god, we're sometimes I think about us as human beings, and it's like something went wrong. Like
Oh yeah,
this
no.
is
So
why.
I think there must have been. That's the thing, though. There must have been a point at which I had some shot at
Yeah,
normalcy, but I chose SasuNaru, and now look.
like something went deeply and tragically wrong, and now we're like,
I mean, and you know, no, literally though, because I've been thinking again,
yeah.
dangerous pastime that. But as I am delving into the lore of Naruto and
Mhm.
learning a lot of things that, I mean, I guess I technically knew this because I did in fact read this manga, you know, for
Yes,
years of my life. But again, binging it is a very different hobby,
it
and
is
and you know, because obviously if I'm reading something chapter to chapter for 10 years, I'm not going to remember what's said in
everything.
chapter. Yeah, exactly. And so there are a lot of like things that pop up, and I also realized that I haven't read Naruto. I did reread the original, like the original
Hmm.
28 volume, so the priest time skip a few
Hmm.
years ago for some reason. But I haven't reread Shippuden since it was being serialized. So I've only read the scanlations. I've never
Right.
read my this manga official releases, which
Hmm.
I have a lot to say about that because there's a lot of censorship that I wasn't prepared for. That what the hell is this? That's not what I'm here to talk about. However, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm just like, but I'm like discovering things. Like, for instance, when I
Hmm.
think about the founding of Konoha, right? And Senju and the Uchiha. So the first Hokage and Uchiha Madara. I feel like that was like 300 years ago, right?
Right.
No, it wasn't. That was 83 years ago. Before, okay, so it's not even that long ago because apparently the original war was 83 years ago, and
Hmm.
then Madara was born. So this isn't even, it's like the time frame here is so much shorter than I thought it was, like how I
Yes.
remembered it. And then you find out that Konoha was a terrible town that did horrible things to a lot of people.
Correct.
And like there are all of these things that I've just completely like, and it like it's very so yeah, there's a lot of lore and a lot of things that you can focus on, and I think it's so interesting because as I am reading this and also spending my mornings as I do my morning workout currently in the
Hmm.
trenches of Jurassic Park lore, because that is the only thing YouTube will currently recommend to me. I'm
I can give
realizing
you some videos.
I know you can, like about Blood Mountain, but but I'm realizing that I really love. I mean, this isn't new to anyone, but I really love like fandom lore because
Yes.
it's kind of like it's like taking a history class, but it's like you're studying for a history test about a fictional thing that never happened. But I just think it's so like quiz me on this. Like I can tell you the history of Konoha. I don't
Yeah.
know anything that I learned in school, but right now if you were to ask me about Isla Nublar or the history of Konoha, I can tell you.
See,
I
it's
know it.
funny to me because like having to deal with gatekeeping, I also got really good at like being able to be quizzed on certain things.
Of course.
Because because it's like, oh yeah, ask me a question about this. I've had to do that
Mm.
in real life. I think the best story was is I was like in my 30s. Me and my best friend Carlos went to a comic book shop in Dallas, and like I'm looking for like Etrigan the Demon, like obscure comic characters. I was looking for like the Spirit and Etrigan the Demon, comic books characters. And Carlos was there looking for Gem of the Hologram. And this kid walks up to us as we're like thumbing through the singles, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're in here. You know, I bet you can't even name all five Robins." And I was like, "Do you want it in order?"
Mm.
I did forget one Robin. I forgot the dumb girl Robin that was Robin for like 3 days, and no one was happy about it. But but it was like, why are you quizzing me? I'm a whole ass adult. I am in my 30s. I'm here looking for stuff on Etrigan the Demon. Please, I know more than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think Naruto is also fascinating when again, like you separate the two. You almost have, sometimes I find that I have to like lift SasuNaru out of Naruto because it gets really, really distracting.
You don't say.
It's
It's like, because again, that's what I was reading.
yeah.
There are so many things that I cannot remember because I was somewhere else.
Yeah, sometimes I've had to like lift them out to focus. And like I know we talk about Death Note all the time. Like I had to do that with like Death Note rewatches where I had to like stop watching around the time that Mello
Yeah.
appears because it's like, oh, I'm no longer listening to the Kita investigation. I just want to see Mello be a sassy bitch and eat chocolate. Like
Yeah.
I'm no longer listening to case information.
No, I know, but again, I've said this so many times that my main problem with Death Note is that so much of the Dojin is so good at replicating the art style and
Yeah.
takes place during canon that I cannot separate these two anymore. I
Yeah.
don't I don't understand why scenes that I remember very vividly are not
Or
appearing.
just Pink Sniper.
And then I'm like, what do you mean that's not actually here? And then it's because Dojin ruined my brain. So
That needs to be a
yeah,
sticker. Dojin did ruin my brain.
it did
Uh,
ruin my brain.
but in the best way. I think what's amazing about SasuNaru, I think one of the most interesting things, and we talked about this in Patreon and we talked about it a little bit in the main episode, is like there had been rival pairings before. It is the, I'm going to say this affectionately, it is the laziest of low hanging fruit. Is if you can't ship a character with anyone, you have a rival ship. You had so much you wanted to say. What was it?
No, 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 no. But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know. It's just yes. Go on.
thank you.
I was just trying to remember other rival ships I have, but unfortunately, my brain has been eclipsed.
Corolla is so funny because I'll mention like other pairings of things and she'll be like, oh yeah. Like,
Yeah. Okay, but see, I have been entrenched and ensconced in a world of SasuNaru, and they're much like Sasuke and Naruto, do not have eyes for anyone else, nor do I. I don't know any other ships anymore. I don't care unless it's Miritama. I
which is the same thing.
not, but not quite.
It's a slightly different font.
I mean,
It's
Mirio and Tamaki have never tried to kill each other, and if they did, I think I would be very sad.
wait until I get my hands on them.
Mm.
I don't think I could write a character that's that pure.
Which
I
one?
Medio.
Yeah, because
I
Tamaki's also very pure, but differently. Also, again, I'm just saying, how pure can you be when you have tentacle hands?
oh, I know there's inner darkness in that child. I'm
Oh,
aware.
he is.
Yeah, I can see the darkness behind his eyes. I know it's there, but I don't.
No, but not Mirio. No, no,
No,
he is.
there's nothing behind those eyes at
I
all.
don't understand how I came to love him so much. I don't know what happened, Amanda. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
If I could explain it, I'd tell you, but I don't know. My point being
Yes.
is that like rival ships are easy, but yeah, like there is something that's really, really almost like suffocating sometimes about Sasunaru, because I think Sasuke becomes such a plot point at the detriment of the series. Like I do want to talk about how the writing but helped the pairing, but it also kind of killed the show
It's yeah.
because like Sasuke, so we have this weed here in the south called kudzu. It came from Japan
Mm.
and it figured out that it could thrive really really well here in the south because like a couple people were like, "Ooh, it's ornamental." It's not. It's a hell weed that we can't do anything with and it swallows buildings and destroys foundations. I feel like by making Sasuke this mythical quest object, it really stunted a lot of the series because you're right, there is so much going on in the world. Corolla cannot accept this blasphemy that I've
No,
spoken. Her
I am
body is
dying.
rejected. Her body has rejected the blasphemy that I speak right now.
You are correct. This is actually what is happening.
But like, there's so much else that I would love to understand. Movie that I watched a while ago was like Sinners, and I one thing I love about
I want
Sinners,
to watch Sinners.
watch Sinners.
I will when I just get my life back.
Like one thing I loved about Sinners was like you can make 5 different movies out of that movie. Naruto has that capability. There's so many
Yeah.
series that you could have explored. There are lands that we could have visited. There are things that we could have been doing, but we were focusing on Sasuke. And I remember towards the end actually really resenting SasuNaru because of that. Because I had rejoined the Shonen Boys and was like, yeah, I want to know the lore. I want to know about the lands. I want to know about the jutsus and everything. You're introducing people of color. That's amazing. Didn't know you had those. Where'd they come from?
I was literally I mean, not at that point because this is, because they're introducing people of color. That's when the Village of Lightning and Killer Bee appears, and oh, they are also cool. I mean, Killer Bee. I don't know if I'd call him cool,
No, he's not. But
and I think it's so funny because that one girl, I think she's the one who ends up marrying Shoji, which I am fine with, by the way, because at least he married outside the village. It seems a little bit more,
I'm so glad you approve of this fictional character's marriage.
Yes, I have given my consent to this,
I'm glad.
but
Thank
yeah,
you.
but like yeah, her name is Karui.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny because I never really, again, I don't know, I reached some level of Alzheimer's in my head where I can't remember the name of any characters in anything anymore, apparently, and certainly not that appeared in certain arcs of Naruto a million years ago.
Yes.
So I remember her very well because she's so cool, but I could not for the life of me remember her name. And now I am reading this arc, right? And there are these two, like it's her and she has a partner, and they're like going after, to protect Killer Bee and the Raikage and everything. And their names are Karui and Omoi, so light and heavy. I fucking can't. I cannot. Karui and Omoi, really? Oh my god.
But like I remember, yeah, like almost getting frustrated with why are we still going after Sasuke? Because at that point, Sasuke was pretty irredeemable.
He is quite terrible for a while.
At the first, I think, especially when you get into Shippuden, like I think early Naruto gets a bit of a pass because it's like, yeah, if I was a dumb kid and like the literal fictional villain from my fan fictions came out and tried to like Jareth me and say, "Come take my hand and we can go spread chaos." It's like if Naraku appeared out of a portal in front of me at 13 and was like, "Join me and together we'll rule the world," I'd go with it.
Yeah, but I also, but he's just, I think he's so interesting because he is, I mean, he's insane.
Yeah.
Sasuke is insane on
Yeah.
multiple levels. But I think he's so funny. I don't think he means to be. I think he's funny. He's unintentionally funny because you'll have like these moments where he's like, when he's with Orochimaru, and because he I mean, again, he's 13 and he goes with this incredibly creepy old man who literally tells him he wants his body, which,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And he only wants him because he couldn't get his hands on his brother. So there's that. And and he knows all the time that, Orochimaru is this horrible villain and he shouldn't go
Mhm.
with him for a multitude of reasons, but he just wants the power because he has a quest, okay? He has a thing he has to do. So he stays
Yes.
with Orochimaru for like 4 years, at least 3 years, and and like at the very end, he ends up fighting Orochimaru because he's
Mhm.
like, well, you have nothing left to teach me. Fuck you. I'm killing you now. And it's so funny because he's such a he's just so blunt about these things and he just cares about nothing. So he keeps doing this. He keeps like allying up with these horrible people
Yeah.
and then when they are like acting like he's their ally or like their subordinate or whatever, like he's literally like, I don't remember teaming up with you. Like there's no us. And he does this to everyone. Like he does it to Orochimaru, he does it to his own team, like Team Taka, Team Heavy, whatever you want to call them. He does this to Madara. He's just like he's just
Remember that being so frustrating. And I think like one of the interesting things is because we kind of talked about like the dip in SasuNaru as a pairing because some people did fall off. I was one of those people that kind of
I
fell
cannot
off.
remember this. I was not one of those people.
Corolla was not a part of that. Yeah, you got out of the lifeboats when a few of us tried to escape. And you would maintain to the main concourse. That's why you didn't see it happen. We just, yeah, we just missed each other. Some of us were trying to leave, but like I remember that was a huge cause of my dipping off. Was just it felt like it became a very very bad soap opera.
No, I understand.
And it felt increasingly like this was a character that didn't deserve it. It felt very like Dawson's Creek, where it's like, what is the most mediocre boy we can pine over? Because if I was Naruto, the easy boyfriend is Shikamaru.
But they're not soulmates.
Yeah, but he's
You
stable and comes from money.
And he's also heterosexual.
That's you figure shit out. I'm just saying, there are a plethora of stable boyfriends and girlfriends amongst travels and within the village. And Sasuke, after a while, just became like his toxic ex that he wouldn't move past me.
Yeah. It's funny because another thing that I have been doing lately is rewatch Berserk together with my girlfriend who has not previously seen Berserk. She's had a great time. It's been
I'm sure
it has been a journey. We have now
yes.
watched all the episodes and we are equally dissatisfied. Someone, please do something.
That's what happens with Berserk. Yes.
Yeah. So, I've watched Berserk before. It's
Mhm.
been a while. I didn't realize how long it had been because apparently it's been almost 10 years. So, so um, I again, I started watching Berserk because I saw AMV Hell and I kept seeing clips of Griffith naked and I just wanted to know who the hell this naked man with no penis was. And then I got Berserk, which I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think it was that much trauma. But what but what I have realized all over again as we have rewatched it is
Mhm.
Guts and Griffith, very messy breakup that becomes everybody else's problem.
Yes.
Sasuke and Naruto, it's similar, except where Guts and Griffith are so obviously bitter exes, where at least Griffith is a bitter ex because Guts is too dumb, and I don't think Guts realized what the hell he was doing when he broke Griffith's heart.
He really didn't. He had no
Griffith
idea.
Griffith is so dramatic in that scene. The fact that he just collapses onto his knees in the snow and just like sits there, and then he goes all insane and he goes to bed the princess, rebound number 1, and then he decides to destroy the earth. Okay, slight overreaction. But as I was watching Griffith collapse in the snow, I thought, where have I seen this before? and and who else has a tendency of falling to his knees and bursting into tears?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference is that where Guts and Griffith are literal exes, Sasuke and Naruto are like in a constant like will they, won't they, where they are like they are obviously boyfriends, but I'm not sure they know that.
I I fully disagree with you. I think it's very obvious and that there's one side and there's one side that is actively pining and one side that has returned to the closet of their own volition.
Sasuke would love 2025 where everyone's going back into the closet.
He would have gone back in like 2014 at the peak of our rights. It's like, now it's cool to be gay and like
Oh
have
god.
like retreated to the closet in like 20
Yeah,
2015 or something.
like Brian from Queer as Folk, who's just like,
Yeah, no,
just like I
he would
refuse
have
to support
willingly
gay.
walked back into that closet. It's like, now being gay is a trend. Disgusting.
And,
And like,
And Naruto's like, Sasuke, let's go to Pride. It's like, fuck no.
it's like, no, it's disgusting. It's mainstream now.
No, I love him. He's such an ass. No,
He's terrible. Well, and I think that that's so interesting also because, again, taking it back to fan works, one thing I do notice about a lot of the portrayals of these characters is that a lot of those edges are smoothed over. Because while Naruto is canonically dumb as a brick, he's not usually in a lot of fanfic, or he's not as dumb as a brick.
or he is, but it's very endearing and not dumb in that way. You know.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Sasuke is usually also made much more charming and endearing than he actually is. He's about as charming as the blunt end of a paddle. I don't know what pickup artist everyone thinks Sasuke Uchiha is. He's not.
He like the thing is, Sasuke is he is ridiculously pretty. Like that's it. He is pretty. But he is not sociable.
No.
He is not someone you can talk to. He does not want to get to know you. So like his perceived charm, I guess if you are delusional enough, which people tend to be when pursuing
Correct.
someone, it's
True.
just like, oh, he's so mysterious and he's so stoic and that's charming. I don't understand. I love him. I love him so much, but like, Jesus Christ, Sasuke, what is wrong with you?
I think it's weird because my relationship to SasuNaru changed a lot as I became an adult. And like, I turned on Sasuke for a while just because it's like, please stop. Because, okay, so you might remember I mentioned in the main episode, oh yeah, like at first when I first started watching Naruto, I really related to Sasuke because we were coping in very similar ways. But by the time I hit like mid 20s, I was over it. I was over his outburst. I was over him being terrible. I was just done. Because I certainly understood that in society, regardless of how traumatized you are, you don't get to behave like that. Like you don't get a free pass because trauma.
No, and I agree technically.
Technically,
I just think that I very much see Sasuke through Naruto's eyes, and Naruto's eyes are not. They're about as functional as Itachi's eyes were towards the end there.
I can see that,
and I say that with all the love I have for both of them.
yes,
Because it's just, but it's like because he is arguably incredibly troubled. He has a lot of issues, and again, like I think it's so funny with how the like the fans take this and run with it with all of the memes and like the Twitter posts and everything where it's like, like, okay, so he's a genocidal maniac, but he's my boyfriend, so we just have to forgive him. Like Naruto's just out there willing to forgive everything because it's Sasuke and it's fine and he will do anything. It's like, yes, I know he killed a bunch of people and he tried to destroy our entire village, but I love him, so let him go. It's right.
I mean, I definitely do have characters that I feel that way about. It's like, don't worry about it. Sasuke just, and I think again, like, I want to put that on the writing.
Mm.
That I think, honestly, if the series had ended in one of the 5 places it was supposed to end, I probably wouldn't feel as strongly. If uh continuing sequels were not as disappointing as they are, I'd probably have,
We don't. We do not talk about
I'd
that.
probably have less strong feelings than I do. But I do think it's interesting, again, like coming at it from a fan works perspective of it wasn't necessarily like my feelings had remained the same, but having to continue to drag it on
Mm.
is what shaped how I felt in fandom. When I contemplated hopping off the ship and using one of the lifeboats and trying to swim away to a land that was not SasuNaru. Like to the next boat over, I guess.
Yeah. No, when I say I'm going down with this ship, like this
Yeah.
is it. This
No,
is it.
I.
I will never. But it's like, but I also I think now, like as you're talking about it, I am
Mhm.
very like I'm very curious to how I'm going to like process everything like the second time around. Like I have
Mhm.
20 volumes to go, and like again binging it all and reading it now, it's kind of like how I said that every so often, like every 6 years or so, I reread Gravitation,
Mhm.
and I'm always like in a different place in my life and
Right.
seeing it with different eyes. So I'm very curious if I will have any like other. I'm noticing that I am reading it in a more mature way, which obviously,
Mhm.
because when I was reading it the first time around, ongoing, I was a teenager and then I was in my
Mhm.
early 20s, and
Mhm.
I hadn't studied literature yet, and I hadn't learned some of these close reading techniques,
Mhm.
and I hadn't lived through the death of media literacy yet. So
Right.
like I'm very intrigued as to how I am going to interpret a lot of what is about to happen in the series. But I also feel, again, because I've been saying for so many years now that it's too soon for me to revisit this because the wounds are still open. And I feel like it has been like 10 years since it ended. But
Yeah.
to me, it like the ending feels really close to me still. Like I feel like it was relatively recent. But again, time is an
Yeah.
illusion. What do I know?
I'm curious what pairings people would have been jumping onto around that time. Um, there was a small faction of us that really supported Gara Naruto. Why? I'm not entirely sure, thinking in hindsight.
Listen, I can answer that because I have just been reading it. No, but I mean, I can like Gara and Naruto. It's a feasible pairing in the sense that they
Mhm.
are basically what Sasuke and Naruto could have been if
Yeah.
Sasuke had not been.
If Sasuke went to therapy.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because Naruto, and we joke about this so much. At least we used to. Like Naruto is literally the trauma Olympics. Like
He is.
everyone, everybody had a
Yep.
tragic backstory.
Hmm.
Everyone had a horrible childhood, and the more evil they are, the more traumatic the background.
Yep.
Except maybe Orochimaru and I guess Danzo. Like Danzo just had an inferiority complex, and but like a lot of the big bads, like Nagato, like Pain, and Sasuke and Itachi, and
Hmm.
so many of these characters, like and Gara, and Gara and Naruto are so similar, and they understand each
Yes.
other on a fundamental level. And Naruto is capable of changing Gara the way
Hmm.
he wants to change Sasuke. And Gara is like, he's so grateful to Naruto. He has so much respect for him. And he
Hmm.
has so much, like he really wants him to do well. And of course, this is a running gag now in the fandom, but Gara keeps trying to make Naruto break up with Sasuke because
He does, and
he's
I
like
love that.
he's like forget about him. But he's also and he's also like in one of the most recent volumes that I read today was where Gara is telling Naruto that because he's talked to Sasuke, and he literally
Hmm.
says to Sasuke, because when they first meet, Gaara tells Sasuke that they have the same eyes because they're both like dead inside as children.
Correct.
and then when they meet again in Shippuden, Gaara says, "You still have those same eyes," and Gaara's
Mhm.
eyes have changed because he's, he was changed by Naruto, and now everyone acknowledges him, and he's Kazekage, and he's his
Yeah.
Wonder Kid, and everything is great. Sasuke
Yeah.
doesn't have that, and Gaara is like trying to explain to Sasuke that, hey, you too can have this if you stop
Yeah.
acting like a
You
psychopath.
you too, if you go to therapy, can have
Yeah,
this.
but then Sasuke is like, and I think this is so funny because clearly Sasuke is aware of his own shortcomings because he says, I closed my eyes to the light a long time ago, and now all I see is darkness. And I'm like, sweetie, you just have to open the eyes. And so Gaara's like, okay, this kid is too far gone. So he goes to Naruto and he's like, listen, he's insane.
Mhm.
And you have to, and like initially it seems like he's trying to tell Naruto like, you just have to let him go, he's irredeemable, but then he also kind of gives Naruto the choice because Gaara always wants what's best for Naruto. So he's like, I can see the ship, I can.
I can see the ship. I was reliving that this was a mistake. Oh,
I am so in the throes of this right
I
now,
was
like,
just in the back of my mind the entire time was between she's making a good point and this was a mistake. Um,
but
but yeah,
yeah.
like Naruto and Gaara was a very, very popular ship to jump to. Again, the ship that I jumped to was Naruto and Shikamaru. We had like Sasude at that time, Sasori and Deidara.
uh,
So like there
uh,
were there were plenty of other boats we could jump
yeah,
to.
and I guess in terms of other fandoms, what would you say? Because I'm like trying to place it like timeline wise.
Mm-hmm.
As I remember, again, this is like, because I'm thinking this is, if this is like Sasude era, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this is Live Journal
Mm-hmm.
2007
Mm-hmm.
ish. So then, um, a lot of people were into Ofuri, which again, funny because it's another flavor of SasuNaru, even though not quite the same, but it's got some of those same qualities. I was never into Ofuri, but like all of my Naruto friends were into Ofuri. I was the only one.
I think also I do remember if we go further back, I know Kakashi and Iruka made an interesting resurgence around Shippuden times just because they finally talked to each other and now we
Listen,
can find now we can rationalize them as a pairing. They finally
I
were in the same room.
I have a note in my massive fucking document. I cannot remember which I'm not gonna go looking for it because it's like this document is so long. But there is one of the Shippuden volumes.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the Pains are invading Konoha
Mm-hmm.
and Iruka is attacked, and suddenly Kakashi swoops in and he saves him.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cockairu Nation, rise
Yeah.
up.
So
The time
we
has
could
come.
we could finally rationalize Kakashi and Iruka because even though we'd been shipping them since the early 2000s, they had not yet been in a room together.
And then suddenly Kakashi's there like some superhero manly man just like blocking the blow and protecting Iruka, and he's like, take whatever civilian and get out of here. I'll handle this. And Iruka's like, thank you, Kakashi Sensei. And I'm like, holy Christ.
And it's like there it was. We waited
There
so
was
many
we
years.
knew we there it is. And also we were eating very good with the background characters like Kotetsu and
Yeah.
Izumo, two of
Yes.
those jonin. So for those who don't know them by name, Kotetsu is the one with the spiky hair and like the
Yes.
bandage over his face, and Izumo is the guy who's always next to him with the kind of like longish hair, who looks like that guy. Yeah, I know. And he looks like that guy. There are like three of them. There are three of these jonin that look absolutely the same. It's like it's
Hayate is one of them.
Hayate, yeah, and Ichigo, what is it? He's the one who's dying during the Chunin exam, the one who's always coughing.
That's Hayate, isn't it?
No, I think that's Gendo, Gekko, something. There's someone, Gemma. There's a guy named Gemma.
Isn't that
Or, yeah, maybe I'm mixing them up. That's the point. There's 3 of them. They look exactly the same.
Yeah, you're mixing up a couple, but you are
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, because there's yeah,
But
and
yeah, there's this troop of Jonin that all look the same.
yeah, but you can separate Izumo from them because he is surgically attached to Kotetsu.
They're never apart.
They are never apart, and they even lean into it in one of the like extras in Shippuden when Tsunade enters her office or something, and they're like
Mhm.
clasping hands because they're like having a moment, and she just like blushes and leaves, like sorry to disturb. And it's so funny how they're like,
And in the Naruto card game, they each get their own separate card, but there's like a special one where it's them together.
I love them.
Uh, but yeah, like there were plenty of other ships that we could have hopped off of, and I think like that was one of the amazing things about SasuNaru. Wrapping up was its
But we're
ability to
wrapping
be.
up.
It's. I mean, a little bit. Well, we're not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not ending the stream randomly.
Listen, I have so much. I have so much to say.
Oh my god, this was a mistake. It's been great, and I'm having a wonderful time, but I'm very aware this was a mistake.
I'm having
Um,
a great time.
but that even if you left that ship, you never left the orbit of Naruto. Like you didn't like Sasuke becoming a poorly written character was never enough for me to leave Naruto. I've left series for less, but I never left the main ship. I left one boat and hopped onto another
Mm.
until nostalgia brought me back home.
But I think it's like one of those things where it's just like, again, it is impossible to ignore it. And of course
Yes.
it's impossible to ignore it because I swear this kid, Naruto, is just like, when I am done with this, I am
Mhm.
going to count every single time he says Sasuke's name. I just want to see. I just want to see what the number is. But he's like, but it's kind of like what I said in the main episode as well, that
Mhm.
like no one is safe. No one can escape because
No.
at some point Naruto is going to project his thoughts about Sasuke into the brain of everybody who is in
Mhm.
this village. Like it doesn't even he doesn't care. You cannot
No.
escape. Like it's so in your face.
Mhm.
And yeah. But I mean I also had I had a lot of ships both within the show and
Mhm.
in other series, but
Yeah.
clearly, as you may guess from looking at me and my surroundings, nothing ever hit this hard.
No. And it's so fascinating because I've been thinking about its legacy being so high atop of like, oh, this was one of the things that turned me into a Fujin. And like grappling with that legacy like it's something negative.
Mm.
Like, wow, out of all the things that could have turned me, this was it. And I think that shame is very present. Like that shame that impulse to shame is very again like it's looking at Naruto as it is right now and being disappointed in Boruto and being disappointed with how Shippuden wrapped up and like it's a very very recent feeling. But if I went back to when I was 14 years old watching Naruto, that would not be there.
Mm.
That shame would not be present. I would feel no guilt
I
at
have
all.
no guilt.
I know you
No
don't.
shame.
I know you don't.
Listen, I only have pride.
I
I
know.
only have no, but it's mm, mm. Oh my god, I don't even know. Help.
This was a mistake.
I think it was a great idea.
Why did
But
I
it's like
agree to this?
no, but again, it's like occasionally,
Mhm.
because like I said, surprisingly,
Mhm.
I have distanced myself a little from it, which I didn't realize until I decided to go
Dive
face
back in.
first. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I realized that, oh yeah, no, I used to be way more obsessive.
Right.
But going back into it, because
Mhm.
occasionally I will get, because I am an obsessive person. We know this. I get obsessed and I get like very one track. Again, the Miritama egg basket. I don't know what happened,
Those poor
but
eggs. They're
but
so crowded.
somehow I don't care about anything else on that show
No,
anymore. Like
no.
fuck everything else. Yes, like okay. I mean, I'm slightly concerned about Bakugo and Toya. That was a whole thing, and Jesus Christ, someone save Shigaraki from himself. But also, my boy did something cool, and it's like so.
I
It's
love that I turned my head the minute you say I'm worried about Toya to reveal the Toya shrine that I have.
but it's just I I do have an obsessive personality, so occasionally I will come across something
Mhm,
and I will get very into it and like a ship. But and then I'm
mhm.
like, oh, like jokingly like, oh, I ship this a normal amount, right?
Yes.
But then I I look back into SasuNaru and I realize just how different all of the other things are because again, like
Mhm.
I absolutely think there are shonen ships that I have that are that I think are canon or should be canon because they are
Yeah.
obviously get like again, I think Miritama is an example. Like this is one of the reasons why I've latched onto it so strongly because
Mhm.
you know again, Mirio is the literal sun, and Tamaki is the sun eater, and Tamaki needs Mirio to function as a fucking human being because he's a disaster. Like
Yes.
so it's there, but it doesn't have the impact that Sasunaru has, but also because
Mhm,
it just doesn't have that insane depth. Because Sasunaru is literally like
mhm.
it's so in your face. Again, like that's what this
Yeah.
whole thing is about.
Well, and it becomes like the core plot of the show. I think that
Yeah.
was the big thing that always took me back was that, you know, again, show I talk about too much. I think Supernatural was at its strongest when it
How
was
did I know
Scooby-Doo
you were gonna say?
because I want to talk about Supernatural and no one will let me.
I'm letting you, but
No
I
one
just thought you
no
didn't
one
like
knows.
it. I thought
I
you didn't like
loved it. It was
talking
my
about it.
life for years. That was my song. Destiel was my Sasunaru. But
Why are we cursed to suffer? I'm just asking.
I don't know. But
Oh
you
no, it's so
know,
depressing.
this give Amanda the supernatural episode.
What am I? Okay, we can. You know what? We can have a supernatural episode, and then I will just sit here because I don't know anything. I cannot contribute 1 ounce to that episode.
I would unironically love a supernatural
I
episode.
think we need a guest.
We would need to,
We need someone you can play ball with. We can call it. We can have the supernatural episode, and it can be you and unnamed guest educating me on supernatural. How's that?
it's our presentation day where it's like, okay, here's the
Yeah,
chart.
it's show
Here's
and
the chart.
tell. Show and tell. Destiel edition. Let's go. Okay.
But the point that I was making was like the show was at its best when the ship was there, but it was enhanced by the Scooby Doo villain of the week stuff.
Mm,
So it wasn't Destiel driving the Impala. They were just in the back seat making out, which was
mm,
great. The focus was on like, oh, there's a new villain of the week, there's a new big bad, we have to go do a demon something. I think the same thing happened with Sasunaru. Was it like I feel like Sasunaru was best when it was just like this lingering background specter.
I disagree.
I I know you.
Respectful. I listen. I love how fucking in your face it is all the time.
I
It is so loud.
I I feel like that wore on me a little, especially because Sasuke became increasingly unworthy of that attention.
I think there are so many points. Like I mean you are correct because like he doesn't deserve him. And,
Right,
and
like,
I mean and I mean no, but I mean he doesn't, but also he does because he desperately needs him.
I
And
know.
stand by that. But it's one of those things where it's like there's a moment where what is it they're saying? Like, yeah, because Naruto is struggling to control the QB, right? And
Hmm.
because he can't utilize the full QB power because the QB takes over him. And in
Hmm.
order for them to balance it, he needs to access the QB chakra, but he can't do that without getting the QB's will
Hmm.
into it. And then I think it's the frog, like the frog sages who are talking amongst themselves. And I think it's
Hmm.
old man Fukasaku who says that um in order for him to gain control, like the person who controls the QB chakra needs to be someone with a strong will, which we
Hmm.
know Naruto has because this boy, he's so fucking stubborn. And it's like, but he also needs to be pure and free of hatred. Like Naruto is like literally the purest being on the planet. And meanwhile, his boyfriend is out there just like fucking bathing in darkness. So like this boy needs help. And but yeah, it's just so, I don't even know. Like I love them so much. I don't
I
even.
love them too, and there's no part of me that doesn't see why I let the Fae carry me off into this contract. Like my disillusionment is very like recent because of doing prep for this episode.
Yeah.
And I can still say all the high, lofty things I said
Mm,
during it. None of that is not true. I think it's amazing though, looking back at something that was so formative. You know what they say, like, don't meet your heroes?
mm.
Like, it's kind of like that for me, that it's like, oh, I completely see why I was swept away and ended up on this ship. I have zero questions about that. But now looking at it, it was like, oh, parts of this ship weren't good.
Oh yeah, no. I was thinking
Yeah.
about this earlier today. Like, is it a healthy relationship? No.
Yeah.
Clear,
And
like, no. And like, I don't know, there was a video that was suggested to me. So obviously I watched it because I was like, well, we are doing this month, so I might as
yeah.
well. And there was I can't remember the creator's name, but there was a YouTuber who recently made like a SasuNaru deep dive, or like
Mhm.
why it's called something like Naru Sasu is canon and misogyny is the reason. And it's kind of like going
Yeah.
into a lot of the canonical points again with the soulmates and how you cannot
Mhm.
escape them being soulmates and all of that,
Mhm.
but also how the women are poorly written, and we've talked about this because this is a
Yeah.
shonen trope, right?
Yes.
um where was I going with this? I had a
Where
point.
were you?
What did I say before I tried to explain the video? Because I just wanted to give credit where credit was due, and then I lost my point.
You were talking about the issues in the ship Sasunaru.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Because she or they, I don't know their pronouns, or talking about how
mhm.
obviously, and I mean like, because Sasusaku, there are Sasusaku shippers out there, but like I said, I recently came across a post that was like, someone was like, "Oh, his eyes when he looks at Sakura," and then they've spliced together two panels, and
Mhm.
the Sasuke's eyes are actually from him looking at Naruto.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. But they will cling to like these 2 points in the series, which
Mhm.
are like, which are one of them being when Sasuke says thank you to Sakura when she tries to stop him leaving the village, and then he
Mhm.
knocks her out. And like he tries to kill her multiple times. Like I think this particular video says twice, but I think it's like three
Mhm.
times. I mean, he does knock her out when she's like, when he leaves the village, and then he tries to kill her twice in quick succession in Shippuden, like in the same scene. um
Yes.
and first she's rescued by Kakashi and then by Naruto. I literally just read this. And as a person who do not ship Sasusaku, it is very easy for me to say, well, clearly this is a deeply unhealthy and terrible ship because he keeps trying to kill her. But then
Right.
meanwhile, listen, he also tried to kill Naruto,
Yeah.
but um
I realize so much of my reflexiveness is also like, it's deeply personal.
mm,
Um because I have had to date my fair share of Sasuke's who, if they just went to therapy,
I would not want to date a Sasuke,
I
personally. And again, like, but it's one of those things because again, I
yeah,
can acknowledge that a lot of SasuNaru is profoundly unhealthy.
yes,
Um, but again, they just need some therapy, a lot of therapy, a lot of therapy. Like if you opened up a therapist office in Konoha, you would make so much money. Like you would
can we
be.
get back? That needs to be another Patreon episode when we play couples therapist again.
Oh God, yes, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. But yeah, like um but like because the difference is that because Sasuke and Naruto are literally again canonically
Hmm.
soulmates, they can't escape each other, so they will just have
Right?
to make it work somehow. Is it healthy? No.
No.
Maybe they can fix some of it. Like Naruto is the poster boy for I can fix him, and the
Yeah,
funny thing is that he has fixed literally everybody else.
he
So
has.
he has no reason to think that he can't fix this boy, except when he realizes that okay, he's broken. I can't fix him. So I guess there's only one solution. I will fucking die with him. I'm like, okay.
And like I say this not as like I haven't become a Puritan overnight. Like obviously I still love toxic as hell fictional relationships.
Yeah.
I just think that there's something about this one that feels particularly, I don't know, like it hurts more because I've been here for so
Mm.
long. Like yes, there arguably have there been pairings that I've been invested in longer? Probably at least a couple, but not like this.
I don't think I have. I have one pairing I've been invested in longer, and it doesn't count because it's straight. Oh, my
I
beloved
know.
Team Rocket.
I was about to say I
Woo.
know which pairing that
That
is.
is the only one. That is the only one.
They're
Everything else.
they are now, as far as their English voice actors, they're all now reunited in heaven, which is lovely.
Mm, yes.
The one is the headcanon ship. Tell us more. We
Wait,
love
what?
headcanon. It's like the one is the headcanon ship. Yes.
Mm.
Like that's always it. Like when I think about what I built my headcanon off of, like yeah, so much of it was rooted in SasuNaru. And I guess like seeing the limitations of SasuNaru also allows me to reflect on the weaknesses in my own writing.
Mm.
Really, my anger is at Kishimoto. Why did you make me hate women?
I also, I keep seeing, and I am, I'm currently, I'm about to say something,
Oh no.
where I might be misinforming someone, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. But
Okay.
take it with a grain of salt anyway, because I keep seeing people quoting Kishi as having said that he can't write women, but I'm pretty sure that what he said was that he cannot draw women, and he said that because he was talking in an interview about how he couldn't draw cute girls. And
Mhm.
so, and I was like, well, clearly you just have to make them look like, you just have to make men, because Haku looks great, but
Yeah.
he's a man. But so I think I think that's where that comes from, that people
Mhm.
think he said that he can't write women. I don't
Mhm.
think he said that. I think he just pointed out that he's very bad at drawing them, which I also disagree with, because excuse me, have you seen Ino?
I was
Have
about to
you seen
say, Ino
Listen,
is the first character that comes to mind. Ino's gorgeous.
I love her, and also Conan. I love Conan. She's so beautiful. So
But
beautiful.
no, like when I say that, no, I don't think that obviously I don't think all of his female characters are poorly written. He definitely knows what he's doing. But there was something about, and I think again, by giving us such an obvious
Yes,
queer pairing,
Temari.
Temari is also great. But I think by like giving us such an obviously queer pairing, it almost made those relationships feel weaker. So
Mm,
like series that I'm not supposed to talk about anymore, which is Harry Potter. Uh, I remember some fans expressing that with like Drary, where
mm,
like, oh well, Draco and Harry have been fighting against each other this entire series. The arc is theirs. It's Draco going against his father. It's Harry realizing his destiny, whatever. You know, the if there's going to be an emotional buildup, if there's going to be an emotional climax, it's Draco and Harry.
mm.
Um,
I'm sorry, I saw a comment and my brain went.
I saw. I saw your brain processing.
I saw Ash, and I was like, "Don't make me go back." You mean Gary?
I mean, that's the closest one. Also, Ash was like weirdly a ladies' man. Like every female character wanted to hook up with him. I thought he was dumb as a brick and always wanted to be Gary's.
I have never hated a character the way I hate Ash Ketchum. I
Well,
I just
and
I have a
also,
personal grudge against him.
and also
But
to be that Pokemon fan, we have to be very very specific. Ash as in Satoshi, I ship with no one because he's annoying as fuck. Now red and blue.
yeah. But I love Gary. And it took me a while. Gary slash Shigeru. His Japanese name is Shigeru. I love him. It took me a while, but then I realized that Gary and I had mutual interests in how we both hate Ash. And, and I decided to love him. And then I decided to cosplay him like multiple years back. And I completely fell in love with him so much. Like I think he's very cool. He's conceited and awful, and I love him.
Brock was right there. No.
Brock bothered me because he was my first character who, I was new to anime, and he was my first character who had those eyes that looked like they were constantly shut. And I was like, how is he seeing all of these women? The boy doesn't have eyes.
I realized in hindsight that I was processing like actual feelings, but I remember being younger and being like, why does the one character that remotely looks like me be the desperate one? I was processing actual like racist feelings and trying to figure that out. But like I just couldn't figure out like why in the pit of my stomach it's like, why does the one character that's actually like kind of my skin tone always be the one hunting after women that clearly don't like him? And that bothered me, and I could never put words to it.
I can see that, and I'm just like now realizing as we speak, because again, I was never a big fan of Brock. I thought it was boring as hell, but that Brock was like the original single mom, because he was a gym leader. He has like 11 younger siblings, and then he has to like cook for everyone all the time. He's the OG Steve Harrington.
Right.
I love him.
There's actually so much. Like he's such a great character, and they just didn't do anything with him.
But to go back to the question, I think the only way I would compare, if we're talking about Ash and Gary, like it's the rivalry, but it isn't anywhere close, because I genuinely cannot think of a single like non-canonical, non-BL pairing. At least not a shonen pairing that is anywhere close to whatever the hell these two had going on from, just like from the universe's side. There are a lot of good pairings. There are a lot of like, but again, like because they are literally everything.
Yeah. The only other example I brought up that I think is really, really close is like Seto Kaiba and Yami Yugi. To any of you Yu-Gi-Oh shippers out there, hello, I acknowledge you. Or whatever crack that they're smoking to ship Joey and Kaiba, which I understand, but also please seek help.
I'm gonna be careful because I don't go here, and I've only seen like 3 seasons. Maybe JoJo and Dio, but I mean, it's in a very it's like a very different way.
I'm abandoning you on this hill. I don't know anything about this, and that fandom scares me.
No, but I just think it's like because there's just something, again, it's like rivals and blonde, dark hair, whatever. One is insane, the other one is a good guy. Very similar. And then there's the fact that Dio is the evil one, but he's the one chasing JoJo, and he's just like chasing JoJo for like literal like centuries or something. There's something about them, but
I'm sure that there is, but I don't go here, and I'm scared.
Exactly. I also don't. Also, my favorite JoJo character from the seasons that I have seen went and died, and it was so unceremonious that I thought that he just like passed out, and then I was like, wait, wait, he's dead? Is he dead? And I had to message a friend of mine who's like deep in the JoJo trenches, and I'm like, is he dead? And he was like, yes. And I was
Um,
very upset.
I feel like a Devilman case can be made with like
Mm.
Akira Neo.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah.
I feel like we can make a strong Devilman case, but it'll just make us both sad.
I listen, I've been trying very hard to not just
Oh
not
my
no,
god.
but I was actually thinking about that earlier in some, I don't even remember because I think it was like last week, and last
Mhm.
week might as well be last year at this point because I'm so
Just
busy.
yes.
But I was thinking of Devilman and those two in both. I don't know, and it made me sad, so I decided to not think about them anymore. I don't even know what the context was. It
Oh,
could have been in the context of SasuNaru, but it also could have been Turukon related because our theme for this year is Dark Ages.
yeah.
So I was like,
What is the show
Devilman,
that sent me into the dark times?
right? Like, I wonder.
There was, I was in when I was in Japan. There was this giant devil man statue in front of one of the Monodarakes. Firstly, scared the piss out of me. I
Mm,
thought it was like, oh god, it's
I think
real.
I know the one. I think
And,
this.
and then it just immediate spiral into like, why was this so sad? I missed Devil Man when it was campy and stupid.
Yeah,
Why did they have to make it?
I had this temporary lapse of sanity recently where I was like, what if I watched Devilman again? And then I was like, what if I didn't?
Yeah, every once in a while, Crybaby will call to me sweetly from my phone and be like, "Hey, but those first couple episodes before shit gets super, super
Right?
weird is really good, and you really are way too okay with Akira after he gets infected by demons. You're
I
way too
mean,
okay with that
he
character
he,
turn."
he does he's got something.
That's a polite way to
Uh
say it.
but no, but I can't do this right now because listen, I am all like, first of all, I'm in the process of re-traumatizing myself with these two, and also I'm watching Hikaru, which is great,
I need to
and
start here.
oh my god, I can't. Oh,
Are you having emotions?
I'm having emotions. I'm also having feelings of
Um,
dubious nature.
Yeah, and don't worry about us watching the summer Hikaru died. That certainly has nothing to do with the show.
No, I mean I would obviously watch it no matter what. I also realized because my hand slipped the other day and I
Mhm,
ordered manga for
mm,
an exorbitant amount of money because
mhm,
I'm trying, because I had a lot of vet bills and stuff, and
mhm,
so I had to put stuff on the back burner, and now my backlog is humongous. And
mhm.
then I was like, well, maybe I need to at least catch up with the series I'm reading that are ongoing. And I realized I'd missed a volume of Hikaru. So, I've ordered it. I'm very excited. I hope it arrives soon so I can read it because I didn't realize it was missing one.
Yeah, but yeah, we're totally. Don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about this on the show later. It's not a big deal.
None
None.
whatsoever. No,
I still
no.
need to, still need to figure out what our Halloween costumes are going to be.
just,
Don't look at me like
just,
that.
just quietly hoping for the Trash Panda. I will not give up on Trash Panda. I
I
love
don't
him.
want to paint myself.
No, I know.
You cannot convince me unless I am going out with my dick out and like doing the most extravagant photo shoot immediately after recording. I am not painting myself like that.
I mean, no one's stopping you from doing a photo shoot after.
I'm going to fucking Target. Ah!
with
Okay.
with your dick out.
No. I
I
would go
think
to
that
jail.
I think that's a crime. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Just like because everything reminds me of them, Your Honor. I know that it's nothing compared to saying that you're literally willing to die with a person rather than whatever it is Naruto think is gonna happen.
Mhm.
There's also a moment where he's like, before the wheels turn to the point where he's like, well, clearly I just have to die with him. There's a point earlier on where things aren't as dire, and Naruto is told that if you go there, like there's something about he keeps trying to go to places he shouldn't be because Sasuke's there, and it's something about how, well, if you do that, then you have to remember Sasuke's a criminal, and so you will be a criminal and you'll go to jail. And he's like, so what? He does not care. He just wants to talk to him. He's like, okay, I'll go to jail then. I'm like,
I also just realized for all of our talk, we forgot the most obvious pairing that is trying to be SasuNaru that isn't SasuNaru that we talked about at length in Patreon and that we've been trying to avoid talking about.
the wheels are turning, but there's no
Bakudeku.
right. I'm sorry. I was
You watched season 7!
correct.
Screams!
I watched season 7, but what did I get out of it? I literally just told you. Tamaki did something cool. What do you mean other things happened? Yes.
Yeah, the panic attack. Yes.
Yes, it is actually quite distressing. But yes, this boy is gone. He is gone.
Yeah, like I guess the closest successor we have to SasuNaru is Bakudeku. And I don't have that brings me no pleasure. I don't enjoy that. Personally, I think Katsuki deserves better.
Like I said, and I've said it many times.
Not many times.
I think I've said it many times. Are you yanking my chain? Please, I read so much Naruto that I may have become a little stupid. But like I mean I ship Bakudeku in a sense that like when I first started watching, I ship it less now, I think, than I did initially, because it's kind of like it's what you're saying, right? It's because it's like a go-to. It's very similar, the childhood friends that are, they're kind of friends but they're kind of rivals, and one of them is really mean and the other is like and the other is like and the other is the other. He is really mean, Amanda. He's so mean, which is why I love him.
Yeah.
I love an insane character. Like I saw again, I have to reiterate this. I saw Bakugo, and he was bitchy and mean and angry, and I was like, I love him. He's my favorite. But then Tamaki appeared, and then, well,
and then all of the eggs magically lifted from one basket to another, and the eggs stayed there.
I'm just thinking of when I was a kid. We had like this game on the computer. It was like a you could play like board games with a computer, and we had like a Mancala game, and like the stones would lift and then move to the next. Like
that's literally what happened.
Literally me. Yeah,
that's 100% what happened. I think. Well, I mean, I watched Bokuaka in phases where like I tried to watch season 1 and was like, I hate all of you.
Which is the exact opposite of how I feel and felt.
No, it's like, I hate all of you. But I did look at Bakugo and was like, you're going in the box of blonde suns.
He's a beautiful, angry little thing. But yeah, no, they have a lot of like, initially they have a lot of things that are in common, like similar to SasuNaru, like very like tropey in the shonen pairing hierarchy kind of thing. But also, again, like I said, I genuinely thought that Bakugo was gonna do a Naruto and do a Sasuke, right? And go off and try to gain power elsewhere and become a villain because that boy needs therapy. And that's not what happened. But it's like as the way that the plot unfolds and the way that the characters are developing or stagnating, depending on how you want to look at it, I guess, they don't have that depth, and they don't. It's kind of like, so for me, like, yeah, I ship it, and I think out of all of those, like the main pairs, they are my favorite, but I put a question mark behind it because again, I don't consume fan works. The only Bokuaka fan works I consume are are Miritama, and also now Shigaraki and Dabi, because that started out as some sort of Yaoi Shelf joke, and now I
And
live
now it's
here.
an obsession.
I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
what happened. I was I I live here now. This is now I am still Amanda. Amanda, when
yes,
I tell
yes,
you that I
yes.
on a regular basis think about that drawing of them in the school uniforms. Like I think about it regularly. I am obsessed. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Every once in a while, I think I have such normal friends, and then
You say that.
yeah,
Have you looked at our chat lately? Have you looked at our chat log?
yes, I have because
Don't
I'm
make
there.
don't make me take you to Blood Mountain.
Why are you threatening me with Blood Mountain? That's abusive.
No, it isn't.
Deku thinks he's Delulu for Bakugo, but we all know Naruto's 100% Delulu.
Right?
Yeah,
That's the thing though. Like Naruto makes literally everyone else seem normal with his with
with his
it's like
level of obsession.
and it's like Naruto isn't even delusional, but
No,
he is um I have never seen obsession before nor after similar to what that boy is doing. But Bakudeku, I mean, again, like I saw this, I see the similarities,
mhm,
and again, like we talked about how Bokuaka is in many ways the Naruto of the new generation of like the younger kids, like the younger
yeah,
fans, because it's and I know you will fight me on this. I know we disagree. I personally love Bokuaka and the way it made me feel when I watched that first episode. Like I just my heart felt so full. I was like, oh, this is like the new big shonen, and I love it, which is the exact opposite of the reaction you had.
yes. I wished for there to be a fire. I was, I was, I
Oh,
was
you
hoping
got
for. No, I was hoping for like team building fire immediately.
okay, because you did get fire.
I did get fire. No, I was hoping for like because I didn't want to be directly responsible for something horrible happening to these children, but I did want something horrible to happen to those children. So I was thinking like catastrophic building fire.
Also, in related, I mean, not yaoi news, but in Bokuaka news, since I have now caught up with season 7, the ship of Himiko Toga and Ochako
Yeah.
is now very much alive and well in
Well,
my brain.
and it was so funny because so we talked about this on Patreon, and you were talking about Okacho and Deku, and
Yeah,
I was
no,
like, and I could not process it, but I also couldn't say anything.
no, but like I know, like, but I know what you mean. Like I think because I think they are genuinely cute, and again, because I love
Yeah,
everyone in Bokuaka so much, apart from Mineta, who I seriously need to die very soon. Um, I love everybody, and I can see a lot of the ships, and I'm like, I'm like vibing with a lot of it. I'm not
yeah,
invested, but I enjoy it. Uh,
right.
and I think that Ochako and Deku are like cute on that. Like when I mean, I don't because I don't like children, but you know what I mean when you see something that's like, oh, they're so cute, like, oh, they're holding hands. Like, I think they would be cute together. I think her crush is like pure and sweet, and he is a dumbass who doesn't realize. Good lord. But then Himiko, who I have loved since day one because she's an absolute psychopath with a very cute character design, just like comes in and bulldozes through, and I'm like, well,
But
I
yeah,
guess I go here now.
it was very funny because I remember you mentioning that during the Patreon episode, me just being like, yeah, sure.
But again, it's one of those things where, like, in this series, I am capable of having multiple like ships with the same characters, and I can kind of like shop around. And in Naruto, I am just like, no,
Singularly focused.
there is.
See, and I can shop around a little bit too. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think that like SasuNaru makes the strongest case. But we talked about this in the main episode. I think oftentimes Curl and I are influenced to find different things in our fan works. Like my big theme was always corruption because I am very well adjusted and take my medication on time.
Yeah, so does this guy.
I'm super well adjusted and take my medicine on time and not with coffee on an empty stomach.
I mean, I don't know. It's not exactly like a one-to-one comparison, but you are talking to a human being who occasionally drinks down her melatonin with Red Bull.
Why
So,
are you like this?
I don't know.
Why are you like this?
I don't know.
Why, why are you like this? What went wrong? What? Your parents are so nice and well adjusted. What went wrong?
I have tried to ask and no one has an answer.
Because, like, at least I have an excuse. My family's terrible. Your parents are so kind and well adjusted.
Like I come from like the most adjusted normal family. Like I don't even know. It's literally just me.
Yeah, what happened? What went?
Everyone
poorly?
else is fine, and I
Like,
can't like this.
At least when I develop a new issue, it's like, oh well, yeah, look at her.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, trauma. No, I don't even have like no, don't get me wrong, I do have trauma, but that happened later.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
I'm not discrediting the trauma that you do have. I'm not saying like this is not a no true Scotsman fallacy for trauma. Your trauma is only valid if it happened this way.
Yeah, no. And I mean, we don't have time to talk about those who actually
do believe that.
No, we do not.
Those are the people that need to go to Blood Mountain.
Yes. If you missed the Blood Mountain reference, we never
talk about it. Yeah, we never explained it on air.
It's literally just Amanda minutes before going live messaging me that she's watching some true crime documentary where some woman was murdered by a man at a place called Blood Mountain. Yes. And I was like, why on earth? Like, I was about to get all victim blamey and be like, why would you go with some guy to a place called Blood Mountain? But I changed my mind when I reread the context, and I was like, why would you, as a criminal, commit a crime?
Yeah.
In a place called Blood Mountain.
Yeah, so if for our true crime girlies, the case is Gary Michael Hilton. He's the National Forest serial killer who was active in the early 2000s. He's in jail.
Good.
They did get him. He's in jail. But he was going around with like an actual white van abducting and killing women. And one of the incidences happened on Blood Mountain.
All of this sounds like a cartoon. Like, I'm sorry, but like the white van on Blood Mountain.
He had a white van on Blood Mountain.
This is okay.
He was just doing crime. He was just doing crime out there. Unfortunately, there are several victims that are attributed to him. He was not a good guy. But yeah, we started talking about Blood Mountain because I was watching true crime before the show, as I often do.
And now apparently it is part of the Yaoi Shelf lore.
It's going to Blood Mountain.
We will be referencing Blood Mountain a lot in the future because apparently
watch it be like really, really nice. Like watch it actually be like a nice chill place to be, except for the one murderer.
It's probably named such because of like the sunset or something.
Yeah.
And then now it's ruined.
No, that is the current. There are several theories. I'm Googling this. Some believe that it was the site of a bloody battle between native tribes.
Oh, that's less romantic.
It also could be from the flowers that grow there, which I hope that's the answer. But yes, that is Blood Mountain for you all who are curious about us continually referencing it, because it sounds like a place that shouldn't be real.
It does sound like a place in a shonen manga.
It does.
Like the battle at Blood Mountain, and it's just like shonen rivals beating each other up homoerotically.
Correct.
I mean, this is coming as a surprise to absolutely nobody because I have such SasuNaru brain rot that it's, clearly, clearly, I've been here for 25 years. No, not 25 years, but 20 years. In Lord of the Rings, the valley, with you have like the water and then the two giant statues of like the kings.
Yes.
Is it called the Valley of Kings, or is this just my inner Egypt child
I
getting
think that's
things?
your inner Egypt child.
The point is, there are those two giant statues of the kings in
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings. Okay, and you need to know, you need to understand that every time I see that, I think of the Valley of the End and the statues of Hashirama and Madara. Like that is literally what I keep thinking that those statues are, because that's not a brain rot. Is so real.
Every once in a while, I think that there is something deeply and profoundly wrong with us.
There
And
is
I appreciate it because it's something. But I am confronted every once in a while with the deep understanding that something is fundamentally incorrect with us.
yeah.
Um, I say this as I have to consider going to Burger King to get you more plastic toys.
No, I don't want you to keep putting your health at risk for me to get Naruto toys from Burger King. But also, after you showed me the Naruto, um, I
You want? Yeah. It's
he's
like
very cute.
it's very cute.
He's very cute.
They're all very cute. Yeah, Cruella at in the same breath, I don't want you to kill yourself eating Burger King, but also could you eat Burger King faster?
You don't have to eat it though.
Yes, you do.
No, you
It's
don't.
wasteful. I'm not
Mottainai.
I'm not throwing kids' meals in the trash.
Can't you just give it away to someone?
No.
Start buying kids meals for like everybody. I guess I know what you're doing after this.
I'm getting the kids' meal.
Going to fucking Burger King.
Do you not want these toys?
I do.
This is gonna cost me my life. It's like, what was the cost of that? Well, she ate Burger King almost every day for a week.
I would do the same for you. And
I
love
know
Burger
you
King.
would.
I love Burger King.
I don't even like it. I'm
But
doing
I
this
mean,
for you.
we've already established that our Burger Kings are probably vastly different.
This is true. This is
Yeah,
true.
I don't think they're the same. We do not have Naruto toys, and I think that is a literal crime. Maybe it isn't, because it's kind of like, it's one of those things where occasionally I will ask myself this, like, if I lived, please understand,
Yes.
that if I lived in a city where the musical Cats was actually running every night,
Mm-hmm.
I would have no money and
Yes.
no life,
Yes.
and they would have to hire me to be the stage whisperer because I know every single line of that
Yes.
musical, or
Yes.
else I would be broke. It's kind of that, because if
Yeah.
Burger King here had the Naruto toys, maybe I'd have to get a job at Burger King so I could steal them.
Pretty much that. I saw John Oliver referenced Cats for something. I no longer remember what it was. Oh, it was for traffic stops for police. So he referenced the Cats commercial from here in the US where they talk about the importance of buckling up your child so that they don't die. And then the last line is, make sure you protect the child and you never want them to become a memory. And they break out into memory because that's what you do when you have cats, is you compare a child not in a car seat to whatever was going on. So at the end, John Oliver recreates that ad with more Cats actors, and the way he reacts to them is the exact same way that I react to them. And it just made me think of you, where it's like, please get down, and stop getting so close to me. That is what I was thinking about. It's like, oh, Curl and I have very, very different reactions to this because I am in the camp of please get down.
It's kind of like a few weeks ago, I guess it's a month ago because it was at the end of June. I was with one of my organizer colleagues who might be watching us. Hello, if you're watching, I saw you turn on the notifications for the live. And we were at like the summer market, so they have like the summer market
Hmm.
in town, and it's like 90% food. When
Hmm.
I was a kid, they would have like a bunch of like, those knockoff anime t-shirts and everything,
Yeah.
and they would have like and a lot more like stuff for kids, like terrible knockoff. Now they have knockoff Labubus, obviously,
Yes.
but it's mostly food now, and I always go just to get the market licorice that you only can get once a year. But they would have like these tents where they sold like stuff for kids, and they had like these little baskets with like cat toys, like cats, like that lay in like this basket. Like they're like stuffed
Hmm.
toys, but they have like battery or something, so they sleep, so you can see kind of like they're breathing, and they're kind of like purring in their sleep, and they're very cute, and then they move.
I
and
don't
and
like
so yeah, so me and my friend, like at the very same time, we both go, oh, they move, but the tone is very different. So I'm like, oh, they're moving, and he's like, oh, they're moving.
Yeah, I hate those. I don't like them. They scare me.
I thought they were very cute.
I think they come alive at night. I don't like them at all.
I thought they were cute, but I
Girl,
didn't get one.
what are we talking about next month?
We are doing another. No, I just know how happy you're going to be about it. We are going to do another series deep dive.
Mhm.
A much shorter series, only 4 volumes. We're going to be covering Moegi Yu's Katekyo, Private Teacher,
Yes.
which you may have heard us talk about in the past.
And by that sentence, Corolla means you've heard Amanda complain about this series a lot.
And me talking endlessly about that 1 volume that was almost impossible to get, and
Yeah.
how I love this manga, but I can't tell you what it's about. I love it. I love Moegi Yu. All I remember is that I really
Yeah.
love. I love it. I just
I
don't know
love
what it's
their
about.
work too. I don't like this. Watch, I'm gonna reread it and all the nostalgia is gonna come back. It's like, never mind, I changed all my thoughts.
I am very excited to reread something that is only 4 volumes, and I can do it in one sitting.
Yeah, I was trying to go easy on us.
I appreciate that because I am about to. Oh my god. Every so often, it hits me how close this con is to happening and how much work I need to do.
This is always my favorite time of year with Corolla because we put Toducon in the calendar. Like, it's one of our first actions. When we have our like end of the year meetings, one of the first things we do is put Toducon in the calendar. So I know it's approaching, I know it's coming up, and then listening to Corolla's stress is just like, you have also known about this for months.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter that I know. I mean, some of these
Yeah.
things are on me. I will say that I know. Listen, I know that I am making this quiz. I make this quiz every year.
That's what I
So
mean.
so why I feel the need to put off watching series and then having to binge watch everything while juggling all of the other things I need to do is a question.
That's always the question for me because it's not a dig. It's genuinely just like you have to do
Yes,
this.
that is I will take criticism for that because I still don't understand how that happens. A lot of the other things that I have to do are literally just things that I cannot do until the last 2 weeks
No,
before the con.
I totally know
So,
that. I am also a convention pro. I know that, but like
yeah.
the one
But
part is always
but no, I have made some questionable choices once again that I can't even defend myself.
yes.
I have nothing but shame.
Convince me not to buy one of the Naruto fighting games for my Switch.
Never.
Damn it.
You know who I am.
I do. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about something that is very squarely BL. We're not getting any Shonen Shelf allegations here today.
I don't. What do you mean this is not? Listen, okay, there are so many things we didn't even touch upon. I'm going to touch upon one of them because
Please.
I mean we did mention it in the main episode, but since I have the volume here. Okay, so
Oh my
remember
god.
how in the main episode we were talking about I don't know what my mic is doing. We were talking about how there is like this one chapter, like a very famous chapter cover
Mhm.
art of Sasuke and Naruto wearing
Mhm.
necklaces with each other's faces on there.
Yes.
Here they are, with their
Yes.
little necklaces. What I didn't remember was the chapter number. And now it's even funnier to me because this is chapter 411, Eight Tails versus Sasuke. This chapter is about Sasuke fighting Killer Bee. Naruto isn't even in this chapter, I think. There is no reason for this cover art to be there. But for some reason, it's like they had to remind us what this is actually about. So they just went, oh, by the way, just in case you forgot, they love each other. There are so many more things I could talk about, which is why I will do. If you have a convention and you want me to come on and do a SasuNaru panel for 3 hours, I fucking will. I will.
You can
That's a
have her.
threat.
Yeah, you
That's
can
a
have
threat.
her.
Hello.
I'm willing to leave her outside in a
Hire
box.
me.
I'm willing to leave her outside in a cardboard box.
Oh my god. I'll be
Take
like
her.
one of those. I'll be like one of those, you know, the ones that you see in the movies all the time that are just like standing there with a cardboard sign. It's like the end is nigh. Except
Yeah,
I'll be standing on top of a box screaming about SasuNaru in like Times Square.
that's literally it. Yes.
It's me again holding my panel for pigeons.
Corolla is brilliant, and this is why I adore her, and I'm so glad she's on the show.
You don't mean that.
Why would I lie in front of all these nice people?
Because you're contractually obliged to pretend like you like me.
I'm not a dance mom where it's like, this is my daughter. I love her so much. She does such a great job. I hate you. I'm not a dance mom. I'm not going to do that to you. That's damaging.
But mommy, why do I have to wear a fake tan? I'm already black.
I never had to fake tan. I did have to wear a sparkly bronzer every once in a while and like really, really red lipstick because that's what like 3-year-olds need.
Mm. Clearly.
No.
I'm concerned.
Thank you all so much for sticking with us for almost 2.5 hours.
Thank you. We could have been over 2.5 hours more. I have so much more to say. If you want to talk more about SasuNaru, do tag me in the Discord.
Yeah, she'll respond. This will be the actual time she ever responds. You can't get her any other time, but if you lead with the premise of SasuNaru, it's like you have to shake a bag for a cat to come out. That's what you're doing. It's like shh, 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 shh.
If you want to hear about the if you want to talk about the Konohagaku and then Ova, in which they are delinquent schoolboys who are obsessed with each other, or you want to talk about the audio dramas based on SasuNaru voiced by the actual Seiyu, I will respond.
If you want a conversation about anything else, I'll also be there. Probably researching about Blood Mountain.
I am also interested in learning more about Blood Mountain. I know what I'm going to listen to while putting up new program posts on the website tonight.
Oh yeah, I forgot to send you the video that I was watching.
Please send it to me.
Listen, Corolla's great, and she's one of the best things that ever happened to this show and to my life.
I don't know. Why am I like this? I cannot believe I go on the internet and act like this.
I can, and I'm glad that I get to platform you.
Why am I like this?
I love it. We're going to go to our respective homes, and I'm going to go eat more Burger King.
Oh my god. Eating Burger King for SasuNaru.
That's literally what I'm doing. They keep giving me Lee.
No!
And I don't want him.
Not that I mind Lee, but how many Lees do you need?
Well, I threw in one for you because I know you don't hate him. So now I have an extra one. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so honored you guys want to listen to us at all, especially. I mean, I am in my element. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I also know that
would be doing this in front of a flock of pigeons.
like I do this, you know. I don't care who's listening.
Yeah, Corolla would do this unprovoked to a flock of pigeons. So I'm just glad that there are people that are willing to listen to us and do this. It honestly makes me so happy.
Yes.
So, all right, I'm off to go slay more Burger King for my podcast wife.
I'm gonna go back to convention work for a little bit. This was such a great reprieve from organizer life. I needed this.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.